So, hey, Holy Business, it has been another season and it's Christmas. So, January will kick off a whole new set of interviews of people sharing their stories of what God has done, how they lead, how they win, how they fail, and how they do all that with faith in business and church, um, in nonprofit, and whatever they do. But I hadn't come on in a while and just talked about why I do this. And I sit here in my beautiful sunroom that is stocked full of things that should be outside. I don't even care. Just wanting to share a little bit about why Holy Business exists and why I came to try to capture stories of people in business, whether entrepreneurial or corporate or ministry, who are trying to make a difference and go about their day to day in a faith forward way. And a few years ago, I was in a vocational ministry role, serving as a pastor at a church. And in January of that year, God started calling me out back into the marketplace. And I was like, surely I heard you wrong. So I asked my husband to pray about it. And for about 8 months, we prayed over what God was saying, not wanting to make a misstep, because I truly love ministry and I love caring for people and I love serving people, even though I'm so far from perfect. But it is a very humbling and beautiful opportunity to care for people in vocational ministry. That being said, it's the same outside of a pastoral ministry church role. Sometimes that just gets confused in our minds. So about August of that year, my husband said, "Hey, God said the same thing to me. It's time for you to leave." And so I did. And in that process, multiple people talked about listening to my podcast. The irony is I had never talked about a podcast, and I had said, there's millions of those, so I will never have a podcast because played, saturated. What possibly could there be to offer to a place where there's so much wisdom already out there from really successful people who are very knowledgeable and wise? And the truth is it just kept being told to me. So not from a place of wanting to monetize anything or even knowing that was a thing, and I still don't. God kept confirming that there were stories to be told about leadership, about hardship in career, about financial acumen and his hand over the journey that is ownership, leadership, pastoral care, whatever, that we all have these stories that we could use to encourage each other. And we don't always share them. We share our testimonies about our faith and we share about our work when it weaves into that, but we sometimes forget how to share or don't know how to tell the story about how we walk that out in the day to day. And we spend so much time working that it's amazing to me we don't share that enough. And sometimes it's because the story's hard. So I sought out to capture those, and Holy Business is just that. It's simply a conversation with entrepreneurs, with CEOs, with pastors, with people who are trying to do well and honor God in their day to day, and always getting a little bit wrong and always getting it a little bit right. Um, it's stories of hardship, it's stories of success, but hopefully it's a story to encourage each listener that their story matters and that God is using it and that they are not alone in the mistakes they've made. They're not alone in the thoughts they're having. And also, every day is a new day to make a difference. And it's okay if it's through a venture that's profitable. It's okay if it's through a venture that's non-profitable. It's okay, whatever you're doing, God can use it if we simply place it at his feet every day. Personally, I've worked for some really toxic leaders and I've worked for some really great leaders. I've been the unhealthy, anxious leader, and I've been the leader that was at peace. And I feel like in a season where I could care for and minister to people. But I've been both, And I think we've all been both at some point, but our job is to share those stories to glorify God. So I hope you'll join me for some of these conversations. If you have a conversation you'd like to share, I'd love for you to reach out and us schedule that time. But I look forward to this new season, and I hope you'll um, join us on it, listen in, hopefully learn something, hear God speak to you through it, and begin to share your own story of how you walk out your faith in this day to day as we all try to work as if we're working for the Lord. Thanks so much for always listening. Thanks for being a part of this conversation. And I look forward to this season ahead of Holy Business.